morning and welcome to Wholesome Roots. While everybody else is enjoying Labor Day weekend, Ryan has to work, so we are just making the best of it and getting through the chores without his help. Boo! But it's okay. We're gonna go over to her friend's house for dinner tonight, so that'll be nice. We'll have burgers and stuff, so we'll still have an enjoyable evening at least. And I love the work I do, so it doesn't harm me too much. It's just hard trying to juggle it with the two little ones. But my daughter Vivian came home to visit this weekend, and she got to hang out with us for a little while, so that was extra special. I really do miss her, and having her gone at college has been a major adjustment in our lives. But she is very missed, and the boys were so happy to see her, so they've been loving on her a ton. Mrs. Duck seems to be finding her way over to us every morning when she hears us. So she's getting to eat with us now. So she's adjusting quite well to being our little pet duck that wanders around with us. Just a little bit spoiled. Is that yummy? You don't have to compete with any other ducks either. Did you train us like this on purpose? Silly Mrs. Duck. How to get a stubborn goat mama up on the milk stand. Come on. Go up. I put your babies up there with the food. Come on, Fancy. Fancy, don't try to go in the buckets. I got your food up there. Oh, come on, Fancy. That's not how you do it. You gotta go around. Right, Fern? What do you think, Fern? Mama not listening? And I have to boost her up with my own hands. Silly girl, we gotta milk you out a little bit. Your udder is beautiful, but it is so full. Keep it moving, girls. Good girls. Keep going, Chaos. Keep going. There we go. There we go. All right. Everybody's meeting the new babies, but they're just ignoring the babies. What's gonna happen here is Fancy and Fancy are gonna have a show out. Who's gonna show out the most? I'm queen. No, I'm queen. No, I'm queen. While the babies get forgotten in the mix for a little bit. But don't worry. They will be reunited with Mom as soon as she's done determining who's boss. And they won't get hurt, I'm sure. As one goes in between them. Ooh, come here, Juniper. Making Mommy nervous. Little Fern is walking around smelling people's teats looking for mamas. That's funny. There you go. And see, she's calling her baby to her. Fern is just behind you, sweetie. There she is. It's always interesting when a goat has been separated from the herd, how the herd dynamics has to reestablish itself upon returning. You had to go through that, didn't you, Rocky? Because you were gone from the herd for a good while when you were sick. And we got you better, didn't we? The little young dolings are showing an interest in the babies, smelling them, checking them out. Say, who is this new friend? Babies, don't get too close. Don't want to get stepped on. This is totally natural. Nothing to be alarmed about. This is what goats do. They're kind of like chickens where they have to establish a pecking order. But it's a dominance thing amongst the queens of the herd. And of course, Fancy and Fancy have always both been little mini queens. Funny that they have the same name and the same dominant personality traits. Shady never really gets like that. I've never seen Shady fight for dominance. She's kind of submissive. Now Kitty will fight for dominance, but she's letting them figure it out first, and then she's going to step in and show her dominance. Sorry about that if I'm moving the camera around. I was trying to stay filming while I connected the fence to the charger. Still fumbling with that. There we go. See, that wasn't bad. And that's probably about all it'll be. There might be another headbutt or two throughout the day. But now the babies have rejoined the herd with their mama, and they're able to get some fresh air and exercise that they've been needing, Mom especially. Aw, see that Shady kind of just loves. Good water? Yeah, I walked up here so that Fancy 2 would know the water's up here. She follow my voice and come up here and drink it. Sweet goat herd. Precious one, you're not gonna nurse on her. Your mama's over here. So cute. What are you looking at, Rocky? What are you looking at, my Rock? My sweet girl. So you may have noticed that there's no hay in their basket. I put as much chaff hay as I could. It was the last of it. It was a whole bucket of chaff hay, so that's a good amount, and they do have all that forage. But unfortunately, there's a reason why there's no hay. So you guys know how careful I am with my goats, and with my goat feed especially. I literally taste their food. Literally have put it in my mouth and tasted it if I was even questioning whether it was okay for them. But there is something that I am very sensitive and keened into, which is kind of ironic considering what we just went through, and that's mold. I can smell mold a mile away, and that's why it was confusing to me when that was what we determined was the toxin that they were getting, because I'm really careful about checking the hay every time I feed them. Not just when I've opened a new bale, but each individual time I go to feed them. I just opened a bale and it had a cloud of smoke come up off of it. First sign that there's mold in that bale of hay is it's not dusty, it's cloud like smoke. That's how the spores come off of the mold. And so I started looking closer, and at first I didn't see anything. No, like it didn't look like a different color. The hay looked like a regular hay color. But as I looked closer, I could see all along the edges of the grass in the hay were little sporites, little hairs with balls on top of them. It's full of mold. All 3 bales we just bought. I checked them all. So it is Sunday. So the goats won't be having any hay, and tomorrow's Labor Day, so I'm pretty sure the feed store is closed. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to see if I have a friend that can loan me some hay till Tuesday. So luckily the friends that were going over tonight will probably have some. They usually have round bale for their horses and the goats that we gave them. So I'm hoping that they'll have some. Otherwise, I don't know. I might have to reach out to other people. So yeah, you just goes to show you, you have to be extremely observant when you're dealing with animals as precious as my goats. Because if I hadn't noticed that cloud of smoke coming up, if I hadn't smelt that smell that was familiar, then I would have been feeding all 3 bales to them throughout the next week. Not good, guys. Not good at all. That would have resulted in more sickness and possibly more death. So I'm debating on whether to give everybody charcoal right now, because what if they got some of that hay? What if the bale that we got before that? I don't know. I'm probably overreacting if I did that, but in the same breath, I have every right to overreact after what we went through. So I think I will possibly do that. I don't know. Ryan said that this batch of hay came from a different place in the barn than the last batch of hay that he got from the guy. So it's probably just this batch that's bad, and not that any of the ones before that, because nobody's been sick. Nobody's had diarrhea except for Fancy 2, and that was hormone diarrhea, and it cleared up in less than 24 hours. So, whew, you guys, I tell you, I will stay on top of this, and I will make sure that these goats are safe. Just know that any animal you have, you need to do this with. It's just that I think where the problem comes in is that people think goats can eat anything. They think that goats have lead stomachs, which couldn't be any further from the truth. Goats are rumens. Rumens have a very balanced system. If the balance gets thrown off, they can bloat. They can, I mean, there's so many things that can happen from the wrong feed going to a goat. So you just have to know what you're feeding them, check what you're feeding them, check it again, check it again. Just keep checking it. Every time you go to feed your animals, make sure. Because, I mean, really, what if it came from, maybe there was rain blowing in the barn and got on that bale, and that's how it got wet and moldy. I doubt it, because the mold's not on the outside, it's in the center of the bale. So that tells me that it was already wet from the inside. But you just have to be observant and on top of your game at all times when you're farming and homesteading and you have animals, especially when you have as many as we do. It's just even more so important that you just stay on top of it. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. And I'm going to try not to worry that anybody might have had some hay before I discovered this. So I'm going to go and get all this hay out of the barn, and so that they don't like accidentally grab some of it on their way in. And I guess use it in the garden. It's not a complete waste. We don't waste anything around here, in case you haven't noticed. But I'm a few days behind on my editing. So this video will probably be out in the middle of the week, not on Sunday or Monday. But yeah. Alright, y'all. I hope you have a good Labor Day. I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend. Please like, share, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.